Well, we'll just tell your mother that we ate it all.
Did Ray of Light by Madonna?
I remember that song.
It was great.
Ruby Fields did Unguided Moment. I really liked that. I love that song, man.
I do like that song.
Yeah.
Let's talk about you.
All right.
Hastings.
Which story? There's a few from the last week. Which ones do you
Have
want?
you taken notes about the dumb things you've done, or are these about the movie?
Both.
Why don't we just scroll back through the Power Bomb?
All right. I can give you an option of. I can give you 3 options, and we can start.
Oh, yeah, okay. Make a multiple choice for me.
All right.
Mm.
I had sex in an unconventional spot the other day.
Okay, not interested.
Yeah, that's well-trodden territory.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll do that last.
All right.
Maybe we've got to do that first and ramp up to the good shit.
Oh, maybe.
Or, no, hang on. No,
Let's hear the
would-
3 choices
yeah,
first.
I reckon we do good, less good, good.
Shit sandwich.
All right. An ill-fated trip to Hurstville that I know you already have the details of.
That could be a good
Absolutely
start,
want to hear
that
that one.
And the last one is a story about fare evasion and dating.
So 1 and 3, no, 2 and 3 kind of dovetail into each other, right?
No. One was a fare evasion on the way to work.
I reckon we do Hurstville.
Yeah,
Sex,
Hurstville,
and
unconventional
and then
place.
fair
I don't really have a story.
This sounds like an album for a bad comic.
I barely have a story for the unconventional sex place. But
Okay.
I'll skim over it when we get to it.
Okay, well, let's
So
start
are we
with-
starting on an ill-fated trip to Hurstville?
Yeah, let's start
Yeah.
an ill-fated trip to Hurstville.
All right. So the other night,
Hurstville in the St. George area
Yeah.
of New South Wales.
I had a booty call, as the kids are calling it these days, in the suburb of Hurstville. And for non-Sydney locals, Hurstville is about a full half-an-hour train trip away from, where I live, from the CBD sort of
Half
thing.
an hour? It's probably like 20 minutes tops.
I did the trip twice pretty
You got on the
pretty
wrong-
recently.
You got on the wrong train,
And late
bro.
at night. This is late at night, not express
Right.
hours as well.
This is all stops hours.
So I had a booty call in the suburb of Hurstville, and the problem with that is it's one of those places where it's actually quicker to go by train than it is by Uber because of the way the roads and stuff are done.
Okay.
Totally.
A quick train, so it's actually you're better off going by train, and also an Uber would be pretty expensive because it's pretty far away. So I got a train. I did my gig that night. I went and I hopped on a train to Hurstville. I fare evaded, as is my proclivity. I got on this train
To lead into, or to create some
Yeah.
Alright,
suspense.
you don't do-
foreshadowing.
You don't need to explain the dramatic techniques I'm using here.
I don't have any faith that our listeners are smart enough.
Yeah, that's fair enough. It is a podcast about us beating off to American Pie.
Yeah.
So I'm on
More foreshadowing.
So I'm on the train. Hurstville, I'm there for half an hour. Goes pretty good. I get to the date. As soon as I get in there, things are on pretty quick, right? There's a bit of, whatever. We start having sex. And what I realized pretty quickly is that I'm about to come.
Okay.
So, the sex was not to
Good.
a length that either I or my partner was satisfied with.
Yeah, or agreed upon.
Or agreed upon. I mean, that's okay. That happens sometimes.
the idea of we were saying, the idea of you busted, someone busting within a short amount of time and just being like, "Do you come?"
Yo, you come.
We were doing a bit where
Not even at the edge. How many times?
when I would say I've never ever made a woman come, and every time they look like they're about to, I'm like, hold that, and I just bust before they get a chance.
Deliberately pre-jacking. Yeah. Well, you don't want to get them too addicted to that D.
Yeah, exactly.
So
D so good.
D so good. Damn. The D stands for damn.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you busted in what, a minute and a half? Was it?
I would say, in terms of penetration time, a minute and a half to 2 minutes.
Yeah. Right.
Which,
and did you do
look,
much?
it happens to the best of us.
Did you do much 4EP?
Yeah, a good amount, a good 10 minutes.
4EP.
Yeah, well, I call it 5 play because I give them a bit of extra. I've said that before. I should.
Yeah. Sure. So you give it a bit of extra, which is like a warning to her that you'll probably bust within a minute.
In retrospect,
Let's extend this, just like this podcast. Let's make the preamble as long as possible because the main event is not good.
So did you nut in a condom? Yeah.
yeah, of course.
Sick.
Yeah, right up in a
And she was like,
dom,
Oh, God.
right up in a dommy,
yeah,
in a
and-
Domino's pizza
No,
box.
a Connie D.
A Connie
yeah,
D,
and so
yeah.
you pull out of her. She's like, no good.
She's like being quite nice about it. I'm like, look, you don't need to be nice.
Did you say this doesn't happen all the time?
No, I didn't say that at all. Why would I lie to her?
You're like, yes, let me write this down in my notebook for record time.
So
You could have done that hack bit of like, I'm sorry, this happens a lot.
Do you think that's the fastest you've ever busted?
no, not even close.
Okay.
Oh, what is the fastest?
I don't know. I was having sex when I was 16. So, you know, I reckon I got a good 20. I reckon I've gone under 20 seconds.
I probably hit 30 to a minute.
Oh, yeah, I reckon I've hit 20 seconds. Yeah.
I
Pretty
Not
good.
for a long time.
That's like a short ass bust.
Oh, yeah.
I generally last quite long, but I reckon I've probably done about 20 seconds.
Lasting long sucks. It's no good, I reckon.
Especially when you got a Mondo hog because it hurts them.
Yeah.
They don't want to go
You
again.
gotta-
Yeah, that's a relatable problem
Yeah.
that we can all connect with.
Yeah, that I'm used to. I like to finish quickly, but so that everyone has good memories of it. You know.
Yeah.
If it's too
Except for
long.
the
Leave 'em one
girl
more.
who doesn't
No,
get to
she has
come.
great memories of it because she saw me giving 6 of the best.
Have you ever had that one where they're like, no, it's like it's nice. It feels good that I turned you on that much.
I say don't lie to me.
Yeah.
It's fine. I need.
Nah, I buy
like-
it hook, line, and sinker
I'm like,
every
that's-
time. I'm just
that's-
like, yeah.
I'm fine.
That's sweet that you're doing that.
My
bro.
ego is not tied into me being amazing at sex. It's just not.
No, it's just
It's just
hot.
that you have sex.
Yeah.
the real quantity, not
over
quality.
quality.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's fine. But I went out to her and I was like, hey, look, give it 40 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. I'll take a little one of my blue friends. We're good to go. Half an hour, no time.
Yeah,
at all, right?
and she agreed to this.
And she's like, the vibe is real good at this stage still. She's like, yeah, of course, another time.
Take one of your blue friends.
This would be great.
So did you explicitly say to her, I'm taking a blue friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not those words, but yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like,
I
yeah.
just have to duck outside for a second.
But then she was like, that's chill. We can just like hang out and smoke weed and shit until you're good to go again. I said, damn, that sounds perfect, babe.
Damn.
Anyway, we're chilling. It's a real good vibe. Everyone's having a good time. I've met, this isn't like, this is like a relatively new partner, but it's not my first time at
Yeah.
her house or
Yep,
whatever.
yep.
So we're all chilling and she goes, oh, do you know what would be fun is if I do your tarot reading? And I was like, yeah, all right. Like that'll
So you
be-
weren't like, no, because that
No.
would not be fun.
Hang on, I have to retroactively do a joke.
Tarot's fun.
You were meant to get off at Hurstville, but things stopped. The service stopped at Cogra.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I
And then he had to wait for the replacement bus.
yeah.
because I love conversations about me. I agree to this tarot thing.
Yep.
She starts flipping cards, and as it progresses, she's going, "Oh no, this is bad. Like this is this is quite bad. You've got to." It says here your attitude and intentions are bad. It says here you've got a disaster coming your way. This is all really bad. A lot of uncertainty.
You're like, we didn't just have
Yeah.
a disaster.
It seems
Yeah.
like there's like sort of like a looming bad event coming up for you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. It's not like I'm going to Melbourne in 2 weeks and getting married in 6 months. There's no.
Yeah, I mean, they're both going to be bad events.
Anyway, the tarot thing wraps up, and I'm like, yeah, that was fun. Anyway, baby, where were we?
Yeah.
And,
Damn, I'm hard.
And then she goes, man, I'm actually pretty tired.
She read your tarot and then refused.
There was clearly a soured air in the room post tarot reading.
So she didn't really go into because tarots don't say like you're going to die in 9/11.
No,
and stuff,
God,
but
no,
it's
no.
just like
it's not specific.
You will certainly die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't buy into tarot stuff or whatever, but it's,
No.
Of course not.
yeah, but that's not neither here nor there. It's still
So
a
she
fun
read
game.
your palm,
No, she
used the cards.
Used the cards.
Okay.
Yeah, and
And then he went home and read his own palm.
So then I went back to the train station at Hurstville,
Mm.
bought some fried Korean vegan stuff, got a train back half an hour all the way back to Redfern, got home cool 1:30 a.m.
So we did the maths on this.
Yeah.
You were away for about 2.5 hours.
Yeah, probably all up.
So we figured out that during that time you spent 1.6% having sex.
Mm.
That's pretty good.
In fact, a foreplay into it. I don't.
Oh, 5 play.
Yeah.
Okay, second story. You had sex in an unconventional place.
I had sex in a car the other day.
That's not unconventional. People
Somewhat
have done
unconventional.
Yeah, have you done it?
That. Yeah, of course I have.
I've done it.
I've done it, but I haven't done it in a. I did last year.
What
Me and
kind
an
of
ex
car?
used to, like, if we couldn't really get any privacy at her house, we'd just be like, we're going out, and then we'd just drive to this nearby oval and fuck in the car.
Sick. It was like a sedan of some kind. Yeah, it was her family car though, which I felt a little bad about.
No, you didn't.
Felt a little good about.
And the third?
The third is
Speaking of transportation,
yeah. So I went on a Tinder date recently.
Mhm.
I actually saw you after the Tinder date, James. And I was saying at the time, the way the Tinder date was set up was beforehand she was like, hey, just so you know, I've got plans after the date. We're not going to have sex tonight. Like she texted me that day of.
And you were like, damn, baby.
And I was like, that's no problem at all, baby. I'm chill. Don't
Yeah,
worry
you're just
about
like,
me.
yeah, sure. That's going to still happen.
No.
I can change your mind.
But no, I was like, that's totally fine. We can, whatever. Went on a date. I was on this date for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
It went great.
Yeah.
It was across the road from Powerbomb, so I went straight from Powerbomb to the date, back to Powerbomb. The date went really well. We made out a little bit. At the end, she was like, oh, this was really fun.
What venue was it at? The Lansdowne?
She started the Lansdowne, then we went to Sappho's.
Sappho's is nice.
Sappho's is like a cool venue.
Yeah. I thought
it's
you were...
better to move there so you can actually hear each other
I
talk.
thought-
Yeah, that's why we met.
I just
Yeah.
thought you were going to take it to like the off-Broadway and be like, my friends are coming soon.
Do you want to go to a pool? You can pay on card now.
Anyway, so the date went really well. I was real happy with it. At the end, we made out a little, and she was like, yeah, it's a shame on me and my friends. I would love to have had sex with you tonight. How about next time, just next week, just come over someday after a gig. We'll smoke weed and have sex. And I was like,
And this was a new person, yeah?
this is a new person. I was like,
Oh,
damn, that
dude.
sounds sick. Like,
Damn, baby.
and I was like, this is actually kind of better than like.
How
going to have
how do all of these women be like, we should just smoke weed and chill out? Like, how do you find them all?
there's a certain type that I obviously attract.
Yeah.
It's not-
You're only swiping
People
right
like
on the
to
people
smoke
who
weed
have
and-
that like 420
oh,
friendly.
I'm way more likely to swipe right if
You need to get a Bob Marley poster for your room.
Well, yeah, it's not a bad idea. I'll do it once I'm married. That way
Yeah.
she's locked in. Anyway, day went really well. I was all happy with it. Plan was, anyway, during the week, I was like, hey, when do you want to meet up? And she was like, pretty busy this week, actually. Maybe next week. So I messaged her the other day being like, hey, do you still want to meet up? She's like, I'm actually not really... I don't know. I'm kind of off sex at the moment. Maybe later, but yeah, I think I'm all good for now. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. Whatever, no rush. Might see you around, might not. And she was like, yeah, cool. Well, by the way, I saw you jump a turnstile at Redfern Station. Now this happened 2 days after a fight I had with one Alex White about.
I wouldn't call it a fight so much as a brutal beating that you took with your
Look.
bullshit socialist buzz.
And it also wasn't Alex. Like, pretty much everyone was
Yeah,
getting
but
involved.
Oh no, it was Alex.
Alex-
Alex went way
Alex-
No one
harder.
else made good points.
Alex
I
is
thought.
actually clever and knows how infrastructure worked. Hastings does what every socialist I know does, which is repeat the same thing over and over again louder whilst throwing in more long buzzwords.
Yeah.
It's not at all what I did.
That is exactly what you did.
Also, I honestly admitted that it's not. It's really I just don't want to pay the fare. It's just I don't think I should have to pay the fare because I think it should be free.
But I think you were really, as I kept saying, you were just
the point of the
revert.
story is not a play-by-play of a fight I
you-
had
you
about
were-
public
you were
transportation.
Brutal beating you took.
Yeah, you were reverse engineering an argument because you didn't want to just say it's because I'm a dead shit.
But I do also I genuinely do believe public transport should be free. Whether I'm right
Well,
or
it
wrong
bloody
about
ain't
that.
gonna be now.
Well, whether I'm right or wrong about that, yeah. Well, I voted green.
So did I.
Whether I'm right or wrong about whether public transport should be free, my argument is that I don't want to pay for it and I shouldn't have to anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what
I might be
Steve's
wrong about
saying.
that argument, but the argument itself does that at least holds.
Yeah, that you don't want to pay for it because you're a dead shit.
And I think it should be free.
Yeah, well, I think everything should
I
be
don't think the
free.
rules should be different for me and
Just
other
say the
people.
words out of your face. I am a dead shit.
Yeah.
I'm the first to say that I'm a dead shit. I'm more than happy to admit that I'm a dead shit. That's not what this is about. Anyway, point is that this girl, I'm pretty sure, saw me fair evade, which is genuinely one
Clearly,
of my
what
passions.
she
and
did.
decided she was no longer attracted to me.
Yeah, clearly what she did was make sure that you knew she saw that. So
Yeah.
you were like, oh yeah, there's no point chasing this back up.
Yes.
That's the tarot card the other girl pulled as well. Just some fucking Jack Skellington jumping over a train thing. She's like, I've never seen this one before.
There is terrible loss of money in your future.
Yeah, the 11 of Centrelink. No. Anyway, that's my 3 stories from the week. What do you guys been
Your
up to?
story's 3.
Hmm.
Those are good. The fare evasion thing is very funny. Like, I mean, you are stupid as shit.
I never said I wasn't.
Yeah, I know. It's great. But just watching you get destroyed in an argument was quite fun.
I think that maybe I was arguing better than you're giving me credit for.
No, not at all.
Look, this is there's no point to go play-by-play on a fight I lost a couple days ago. All right, what else? What have you guys been up to? What else
Well,
has
let's
been
talk
going
about
on?
the movie.
Yeah, we like this movie.
Yeah, it's our 50th episode.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
welcome
we
to
should
We'll
be-
Just Tell Your
Thank-
Mother We Ate It All.
Podcast
50th
about teen-sex
episode.
comedies, 50.
Podcast about teen-sex comedies.
You might not know it based on our general tone of voice, but we are not resigned to our fate. We actually quite enjoy doing the podcast for some weeks.
We've watched some decent stuff lately. I haven't been hating it.
I think American Pie 2, when watching it, really illuminated a problem that I have with our podcast overall.
Go on.
Hit me.
It's just that it's great fun to do. The movie part is a bit of a bummer, which is...
Yeah.
But the thing I realized is that, like, because we are so far removed from our teens now, there is a very finite number of ones that we saw as a teen and that we attach memories to and nostalgia and have genuine passion. So we could see something like Blockers in 2019 and be like, it's good, but our analysis is just, it's good.
Yeah.
And then, like, most of them...
That was funny. That bit was funny.
Yeah.
Remember this line?
And then most
Okay,
of them...
what, are you trying to talk people out of listening to our podcast?
Yes!
What are you doing? Yeah.
And
No,
then-
we're trying to talk people into listening to what the podcast has become.
Yeah.
Right, okay, okay.
This is my summary of where we've got to over 50. And the bad movies are so bad, but after a while, I think it gets tiring to just shit on them. And especially when... I think watching a bad movie feels much more punishing when we're all doing it alone.
Yeah.
Usually hungover at our places, like trying to take notes. Whereas if like we saw it together, we could at least riff on it. But we don't have time to do that. Really.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is... The podcast is finished.
We're going out. We're going out with the best.
This is our last episode.
Man, I can't believe
Yeah.
you're telling me this way. Nah, fair enough.
And then it's just...
Yeah, all right.
All right, yeah.
I
okay.
won't see you next
And
week.
then we're gonna segue, and now we're gonna segue into our next one, which is we talk about true crime
Damn.
all the time.
Hang on.
I want to do
hang
a
on.
Troom Cry podcast.
A Troom Cry.
A true crime.
Oh my god, grow up! I want to do it.
That's what podcasts are. Is making.
True crime.
Is that a T-shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking kill me.
Making T-shirts out of the way people
I want to do a
misspeak.
true crime podcast, but doing like a deep dive into reasons various women have stopped sleeping with me.
That'd be good.
So the turnstile one's an open shut case, sure, but
Yeah.
maybe not all. of
No,
them.
but it would be fun to ask.
I reckon there'd be
is
a
if
lot of
it-
open shut cases.
Would you?
Oh
Like-
yeah,
like-
that thing I did.
He shit himself while he was on top of me.
Can we? Can I ask you a question? You don't have to do it. I just think it would be very funny if you did do it.
Go on, James.
Would you?
You realize he'll probably do it.
Yeah. Will you right now message this woman and go, "It was the turnstile thing, wasn't it?"
No, because she.
Come on, it's so funny.
Hey, you're live on my
hasn't-
podcast.
She's left it open-ended enough that she's still pretending that she will see me eventually.
Yeah. So why? But don't we just nip it in the bud?
No, I'm still holding out a little bit of hope.
Can you say?
I would love to have sex with this woman.
What did you say after she said, "I saw you hopping the turnstile"?
Let me find out.
Like, could you? Is there some way you could say it where you think that you could still tee it up? Because, like, in a way, this.
Yeah, I did. Did you think it was cool?
In a way, it would be good if you asked her, because if she was like, yes, you'd know not to hold out hope and just go after other people, right? And it was the turnstile.
Oh, okay, sorry. So what happened is she pushed our date, and then I said, "Yeah, cool. Are you still keen to hang out soon?" No, sorry. She pushed the date, and then she was like, "Oh, also, by the way, I saw you jump a turnstile." I was like, "Haha." Anyway, a bit more conversation. Still keen to hang out again soon. She said, "I've been weird about sex lately. I guess I'm a bit over it. Didn't want to mislead you. Blah blah." So that's okay.
Yeah, it was the turnstile thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then I said, "That's okay. I'm in no rush." And then she love heart eyes reacted that. Then I said, "So what do you want to do? We can chill out next week and not have sex, or we can just wait until another time." And then she gave a thumbs up to waiting till she's more comfortable to hang, and then did not reply. So yeah, it's
The,
I think
the
it's,
thumbs up is a pretty
it's
bad
clearly
sign.
over. Like I'm
yeah,
not.
it's a perfect time to ask, and it would be so good content-wise.
See, I might hit her up and see how she feels in 2 weeks.
You can say you're live on my podcast if it
No, I'm
helps
gonna
you,
hit her
like,
up when I get back from Melbourne. I think is the plan.
Okay, but if she then
Yo,
says,
babe, ready to fuck it?
if she then says no, can we just go for hard on it was the turnstile thing, wasn't it?
If she ever gives me a firm, permanent rejection,
But it doesn't sound like she's going to. This is a
Yeah,
way
it
to...
sounds
no,
like
she
she's-
will when I hit her up after Melbourne. I reckon.
Okay, but what if she's just like maybe in a few weeks?
Then I'm gonna see what happens maybe in a few weeks.
So what if
Has
she just
hitting
keeps-
someone up much later ever actually worked?
Oh yeah, that's one of my patented moves.
It's called
Jesus.
the long con.
No, it's not called that. No, yeah. Sometimes.
What is it called?
I don't name my moves.
No, you're going through your phone right now, looking at the a notes thing that says moves. I can see it in front
Listener,
of you.
do not listen to this man.
He's got a notepad document that says
fiction.
moves
This
on
is
it.
fictional
No,
what
I
you're
can
saying.
see it.
There's no
You've got it.
notepad.
You're showing it to me and putting your thumbs up.
No,
The
I'm
background
not.
of his
You
phone.
are.
The background of his phone is him thumbs upping with a copy of Barney Stinson's The Playbook.
No, it's not. It's a photo of my cats. I'm adorkable.
Wait. Have you crossed out Barney Stinson and written Andrew Hastings over the top of it?
No, I would never do that.
What is this move you've got? The camel pile driver? What does that even mean? Explain that
It's
one.
nothing. Don't worry about it.
Here, oh my god, the I'm using my engagement to get laid move. You shouldn't be writing these down and documenting them.
That shit's in the
Someone's
cloud,
gonna
brother.
think that's real.
The 1.5 minute bust? That's...
Well, the other day I got rejected.
Only deploy when desperate.
It's just the 1.5 minute bust in the Andrew Hastings playbook is to like do that to make him seem like he's not that good. But then
Yeah.
he pops one of his blue friends and blows her fucking mind.
Yeah. It's like a pool shark move.
It's,
But the pool
it's like,
is-
baby, that was just
Yeah,
the
I mean,
appetizer.
I don't know why you're talking about it theoretically. You've written it down on your phone.
That was just the entree before the main course, baby.
Yeah, I know. I lower expectations and then
Yeah.
under promise, over deliver.
Yeah, I know. It says it in your phone.
No, there's nothing in the phone.
Is that what your Tinder bio is?
What? There's nothing
I
in the phone.
overpromise.
What? There's nothing in my phone.
Playbook?
No, the thing you said before that about the expectation.
You should take
Oh,
a Tinder
yeah.
photograph that just has you with a playbook.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No.
Some of these are just like an NFL playbook where it looks like you're doing a series of like different routes and stuff, but
It's
at
him
the
just-
end it all just says pussy.
It's him trying to draw boobs.
Half of Andrew Hastings' playbook is just stick figures of him with a huge boner coming on a pair of titties.
I mean, that
One of
part I
those
will
really
admit to.
crude, crude stick figure girls where it's like just a stick figure, but then just two
Two
massive
huge
tits.
Yeah.
balloon boobs on them.
And Hastings, yeah, that's pretty funny that you've got a playbook in your phone.
I don't have a playbook.
I cannot stress enough. That
How did
this-
we have such specific comments
Yeah,
then?
I cannot stress
no.
enough that this is a real bit,
No.
and that.
Well, why'd you say bit though? Because it's just real.
Yeah, but I mean, we're doing a bit based on this real thing that he has. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
best
yeah.
comedy is based in truth.
Yeah. And also
Sure.
it's therapy.
Yeah. Also, it's therapy and it's like having sex.
Yeah.
It's so funny that people say that comedy is like therapy because I talk about comedy in therapy. Is that anything?
No,
Oh, that was a funny thought I just had.
is that something in your playbook there?
Look.
Tell girls you go to therapy.
Next time he picks up his phone, I know he's tweeting that.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
yeah.
it bombed too hard on the pod just then.
Welcome to the Hastings tweeting
Yeah, but so does
hour.
everything that you put on Twitter from the group
Plucking
chat.
out thumbs
No, some
down
of them
group
will
chat
work.
jokes and repurposing them to seem less word economical and less.
Look, I'm trying to convey character. Okay?
Yeah. How do I rewrite this? Shove more words in and take out the jokes.
Yeah.
It's not what I do.
That's fine. I was having an argument with someone about how funny you were the other day. I can't remember who it was. No, I was defending you.
Don't tell me these things.
I was saying that you're really fun to write with
Thanks,
as
man.
like a script thing.
I'm a good stand-up comedian as well, actually. So
That wasn't the crux of my argument. I was more leaning towards the script thing.
I'm a good comedian.
I was messaging Pat Doherty about you yesterday.
Come on, man.
Because he sent me a message asking to MC one of our rooms, and I just was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely you can." And then I just kind of like did a feint move where I was like, "Oh, by the way, like if you have any dates in May to July," and he was like, "Yep," and I was like, "I've got a young comic called Andrew Hastings who wants to do a 5," and then he essentially was just like, "Maybe I'll come watch him at some mics."
Man, I hate this bit because the reality is not like.
Far
Far from it.
No. No, the opposite is well, not the opposite, but no. I don't like a bit where the joke involves me actually not getting something.
Yeah, I couldn't see why.
Yeah, because I don't get the thing I want.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Anyway, American Pie 2,
Yeah.
pretty good film.
Yeah. We outlined.
Yeah, that's right, film.
Yeah. We outlined why it's bad for the podcast. But it's also, I think I watched this movie differently now than I did.
Yeah.
This maybe more than any other movie. Because I heard
I would say I've probably seen this more than any movie we've done for it. Maybe Basketball.
yeah.
I think I've seen this one.
But
more than any other
Basketball,
movie.
I'm still kind of, this movie is very funny. It's got a lot of jokes. Now I watch American Pie 2 with like a real nostalgia for a experience I never really had then. Because like I didn't go away to college and, go to bed. Like we're more likely to do that now Be
Yeah,
like,
oh, yeah.
let's go to a fucking beach house and spend all our money. And
Yeah.
We did that after the HSC. We
go
all
to schoolies.
no,
Yeah,
'cause-
schoolies.
no.
It's called
it-
schoolies, nerd.
Damn, it's called schoolies.
well, we had kind of 3 things like that then, because we like as soon as we finished the HSC,
Gold Coast, recently 18, schoolies.
because my
We
grandparents.
should go to Toolies.
We should, man. We're so
Like that
old
is
to be-
so on brand.
That would
for
be
you.
so funny.
Do you imagine trying to like finger an 18-year-old at a beach party?
Yeah.
I mean, like, imagine it more than you usually
No,
do.
it would be disgusting. It would be fucking horrible.
It would be
Yeah.
pretty.
They would all think we're so old.
I know.
Like,
It would be very
fucked
funny.
up.
You are so old. You're like 14 years older than them.
15. At
Depending on their age.
Schoolies.
Did I tell you about that time an 18-year-old girl said I was hot for an old guy?
Really?
Yeah.
When did you say it? Like recently?
No, this was a year ago.
Oh, so you're pretty old then.
Yeah, she was 18. We made out in the club. I didn't realize she was 18. I'll tell the story. I made out with this girl.
Once I turn 30, am I a cougar?
Right? It depends on who you're
No, I
praying on.
think you have to be 40 over to be a cougar.
I think like 35 to a 20-year-old is a cougar.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, it was the last time I was ever in a nightclub, and I was making out with this girl, and I still had my lip piercings in then, and she stops kissing me, and she goes, "I really like your lip piercings." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." And she goes, "Yeah, I was going to get some. My parents wouldn't let me." And I was like, "Sorry, what? How old are you?" And she goes, "Oh, I'm 18.
I'm
How
supposed to
old
be
are you?"
grounded right now.
And
you
I said
and
tw-
you busted immediately.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. And I said, I'm 27, and she recoiled. And then I was like, oh, and then she was like, no, don't worry about it. You're pretty hot for an old guy. And then I'd left.
And then you stepped. And
I just left. Like, I
and
just
then
left.
you stepped into a more well lit area, and she was like, "Oh God, no!"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a date.
She hit me up on Facebook the next day and I ignored her.
I had a date fall apart when I was, I think, 26, 27 with an 18-year-old on Tinder who, like, eventually...
That's too young.
Yeah, like...
Yeah, I don't swipe right on people that
Well, we
young.
were, like, joking around and seemed to, like, get on quite well. And then we were, like, talking about planning a date. And she's like, do you think this is a bit weird? And I was like, yeah, kind of. And then we just kind of agreed to go our separate ways.
Yeah.
But now I wish I'd done it for the story.
Yeah. Yeah, the story.
Yeah.
I was
Now,
gonna-
yeah, now I wish I'd done it for the story, not to fuck an 18-year-old woman.
Man, I went on a date with a 20-year-old recently. It was pretty good, but also, like, it's maybe too young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone I date at the moment is like 25 because all the people my age aren't single anymore.
Yeah.
Makes
We're the same age, effectively.
yeah.
But that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. This movie, I kind of watch it in a much sadder way now, where I'm like, because when I first saw it, I was in year 9. It was the first movie I ever went to with like a group of girls. I was like, yes,
yeah.
now things are going to start happening.
I had
They
that with
did not for a few more years.
I remember I went in with a group of girls to Attack of the Clones.
Oh, sick.
Fully made out with one of them.
I almost got kicked out of Attack of the Clones because Davis was making too much noise during the movie.
Davis is like me.
Yeah, he is. He was a proto Hastings.
I love Davis.
But
Even if he noogied me.
yeah. When I first watched it, I was in year 9. You're like, oh, when you get to college, it's going to be like that. Now you just kind of like,
It's just not like that here.
but now you're just kind of like, oh, I miss all the friendships that have like fallen apart since in the ensuing years, and we don't see each other as much. Now I have this kind of. I think if I wasn't doing comedy, I would view it in an even sadder lens, where I was
Yeah.
like, wow, like we really don't see each other now that we've got comics, and we're just
Yeah.
all fucking like, oh, let's
Yeah, you have beers with Hastings 4 times a week.
yeah, and it's just like a room starts at 8, but you tell like your friends like, let's meet at 6.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we'll get
exactly.
drunk beforehand.
Yeah. Let's do that tonight.
Yeah, of course we're gonna do that tonight. Like,
we do it every week.
It's become such a staple. Like my wife
pod-
is just
pod
like,
beers,
yeah,
gigs?
Amy knows the timeline. There's a big blank spot in between the pod and Everly.
I had dinner with my family on Wednesday night, and they were like, well, "Let's
Cool
just
brag. Still in touch with your family.
go." Not all of them.
Yeah. Me either at the moment.
Bye, Dad. But they were like, "Let's just go to a pub near your house." So we went to Everly, and I was like, "Yeah, like we hang out here basically every Sunday night." And there was like a look of real like, "Oh, like, really? You come here every week?"
That's pretty
I mean,
funny.
we wouldn't if we didn't have a comedy room there. We'd
That's
probably
true.
just go to Tudor or Misfits or something.
Yeah.
It's like I don't think Everly's that.
Which also have comedy rooms at
Yeah,
them.
I
Yeah.
know, but Everly's not really.
Well, so
a-
does every fucking pub around
Yeah,
here.
Everly's
Yeah.
not really a cool pub.
Yeah, did we all
None
move
of them
here?
are really.
Did
I think Tudor's like.
I think Everleigh has a bit of like hipster charm based on some of the people who are out there, but that's just because all the people who would live around there.
I think Everleigh is more of like I'd go there if I wanted like nice-ish food and was.
I think this is bad pond content.
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, everything,
Pond content?
Everything
Pod.
we do is bad pod content.
That's a good point.
But let's talk about the movie a little bit.
Yes,
Yeah,
let's talk
man.
about it a lot.
But you do know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know
now-
what you're saying. Yeah,
But
yeah.
but I still
Wasted youth.
I had this experience, yeah, because my like grandparents had a holiday house down the south coast.
Do they still
So,
have it?
It's my uncle bought it off her.
I know what you're
Does he
saying.
rent it out?
Yeah,
Interesting.
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 it's
Interesting.
in Lake Conjola.
Let's have a quote unquote riding trip.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be sick.
I mean,
I tried. Chris Lieben and I years ago tried to organise that. You would have been one of the
Yeah,
people
I
we were
remember.
telling
Yeah,
to
I was
come.
invited. I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't happen. I reckon we
No.
make it happen, and instead of riding, we smoke crack cocaine.
yeah, that'd be fun.
in this town full of geriatrics.
I've done the beach house thing, but not.
I've done the
in-
beach house thing a few
But
times.
not in a way where it's
We
like,
did
oh,
it
we're gonna
after
get like
that.
a bunch of chicks to come. At that point, like I'd had a girlfriend, so you're just like, oh, we go up with our friends.
Well, the first time we went, it was like boys. We just finished the
Fuck,
HSC.
yeah.
But then we went on schoolies, and then for New Year's
Damn,
we all
two
went.
schoolies.
But then we went back down there for New Year's with and like brought all the girls and stuff.
Yeah,
and
that's
it
pretty
was
sick.
fucking wild.
I did a bit of beach
One of my
house.
friends drank 31 beers in one day, which is outrageous.
That's pretty good.
He had mild alcohol poisoning the next day for sure.
Me and my Northern Beaches friends used to go to this beach house up in Umina on the Central Coast, and also
Umina is what Hastings says before he has sex.
As a question, you mind? Yes. All right. Let us proceed.
Damn, got me again. Yeah, so we go down there, and it
It's,
was,
I mean, we didn't get you. Again, it's on your phone. It says you're a minor.
no,
And then it says, there's a tab here that says my secret pedophile folder.
no, it doesn't say that.
And in brackets it says top secret.
No. No. It also doesn't have a picture of James Bond on the front. GoldenEye style.
That's very funny.
Yeah, no, there's this beach house up in Umina, and we'd all go party up there. Every sort of 6 months we'd go up. And I did all sorts of stuff there. I put a cigarette up my ass and tried to smoke a cigarette out of my butt.
Okay, that actually rules.
We did. Did not work.
Of course, it didn't work. You can't breathe
We
in your ass.
we used to like a ring toss game.
On your erect penis?
No, what we do is we'd have a huff of amyl before every ring toss to fuck up with our perception. We did acid up there, a lot of caps and shit up there, a lot of like sort of spin the bottle and nudie runs and all that. sort of
Spin the
shit.
bottle was
Yeah,
sick.
we got a person.
I did so many nudie runs.
I did a bunch of nudie runs. in my life.
We got someone drunk enough to challenge them to like. The challenge was to like go up to a house and knock on the door in the nude and be granted entry.
That's great.
So they were going to have to be like, please, they're chasing me and they've got all my clothes. But like, if anyone was home at all the places we went there, they obviously saw that there was a naked guy at their door.
Yeah.
And could definitely see all of these people like really poorly hiding in bushes and behind cars. And be
Yeah,
like,
and the guy's
let's
obviously
not let
drunk
them
as
in.
shit,
Oh
right?
yeah, he was
Yeah.
hammered.
Yeah. Also,
That was
you
the
know,
first year that I jumped out.
What's step two?
Fuck the person.
Well, then it was just like,
According to
let's
your
see what
phone, it
happens.
says fuck the person.
No, that's not what my phone says. What my phone actually says is intersectional feminism. Then it's all gibberish. I don't know what that.
That was the
Yeah,
fir-
and then in brackets it says how to fuck woke girls.
No, that's not what it says, Jamie. What it actually says is that Jamie's wrong and that I'm right.
that was the first year
I
that
mean, it does say that, but that I assume that's some sort of ploy you have.
No, it's what's happening.
That was the first year I did my quickly run behind a car, get naked, and jump out at midnight and scream "Happy Nude Year."
That's not bad.
Ah.
Yeah,
So movie.
Yeah.
yeah.
I like lesbians. They're pretty sick.
That scene is fantastic for a number of reasons.
I like that it makes
Four
them kiss.
reasons. Four specific
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah.
Too big, too small.
All of their butt cheeks, man. Like, it could look. I know
Butt
that.
cheeks.
Did you see
What are
those
you,
girls'
gay?
butts?
What are you-
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
were talking about stiff.
No, no,
fish.
the women.
butt
Butt man.
butt people are weird. I think it's got to be boobs or go home.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I want this on record, actually.
I got
this
my-
is in my phone.
Yeah.
It says,
GBGTFO.
I love boobs.
I've got my own pair of titties that I can play with now, though. So, but
I know,
it's
you
much
keep
weirder if
showing
you
them
sit
to
there
us.
and
But
play
you can
your
play
ass.
with your butt too.
Yeah, but it's weird. I think.
To play with your own
I think it's
butt.
weird to do both.
Hold on. So you're saying it's weirder for me to put a glass butt plug inside of myself and beat off while I'm unemployed 6 months ago than it is you taking pills to grow boobs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both weird.
No, yours is absolutely weird.
Nothing wrong with
Yeah.
growing the boobs. Growing the boobs so that you can then play with them is the weird part.
No,
So you're
that's,
not transphobic.
it's not so I can play with them. That's just a
That was what I
fun
took
little
from it.
consequence.
Okay. Well, I guess if it's for your identity.
But that scene is great. Like the joke with the "That's how you kiss your mother." Don't you say anything is fantastic, and the little like goes to put his hand on him when they're kissing,
Yeah.
slaps him away.
You were trying is very funny as well.
Yeah,
That's it. The you were trying scene is like exactly what happened between me and Rose.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying. Like
that, you said that. You have said those
yeah,
words.
it's because it's true. Jason Biggs is right in that scenario.
I don't know if he is. He definitely isn't the one.
Did you beat
Played out
off to
to
that
be the
scene
winner.
ever?
Heaps.
Almost
so many times.
certainly.
So
I
many
never
times.
have.
That would have been a really man. I fucking nearly did it yesterday.
Yeah, if I didn't have an unconscious girl on my couch, I probably would have as well.
Yeah,
I-
and
Wow,
that's
that's
weird that's
Hold
weird
on,
that
that
that's
came
in
out
your
wrong.
phone.
Came out
That's weird
really
that that's in
bad.
your phone as well.
One
That
of mine and
came
a
out
best
really
friend
bad.
slept on our couch last night, and she was drunk. And
Oh, I thought it
unconscious
would
while
just
I
been
watched
a
the
vet.
movie. No, she was unconscious in the bed.
Right.
I
What's
watched.
Why were
going
they?
on in your
Why
house?
were they
There were
unconscious?
two very drunk unconscious girls in my house last night. I touched neither of them.
Why do you keep saying unconscious and
Yeah,
making
just
a weird
say-
face?
Just say passed
say-
out or
just say
asleep.
they were sleeping.
It was from alcohol, bro.
They weren't conscious.
Yeah, that's sinister.
Yeah, it does sound creepy.
I actually.
But I almost that at the age that I watched this movie, that would have been a very formative experience for my gender and sexual identity.
Yeah.
I
Mine
that.
too.
I didn't. I never beat off to this, and here's my reason why.
Go on.
Like,
Because you couldn't like get past the dudes making out in between the girls.
Oh no,
making out.
I'm fine with that. But like when the first one I beat off to a lot because it's Shannon Elizabeth. Like she's a famous movie star that's like got.
But these two women are
listening.
absolutely glamorous.
But then these two women, first off, I don't think either of them are hot. I think it's that effect where they are both together, so they both seem a little bit hotter.
they have tremendous bodies. You
They
have
ha-
to.
yeah,
you have to
absolutely.
give
The
them
taller
that.
one's ripped.
Absolutely.
They're
yeah,
both
she's got-
shredded.
she's got like a six.
They have both been doing their squats.
It's just that they're relative unknowns, and I find it harder to beat off to that in a movie when like you could be watching someone real famous.
You're more of a cult of personality.
Well, like
kinda
I could
guy.
just watch a porn to see two people doing like lesbian shit, but if like
True.
I've got the chance to see like Scarlett Johansson get nude in
Oh,
a movie,
here's the
you'd beat
fundament-
off to that.
Sorry, I just realized the fundamental difference is because I was 12 when I saw this, and you were 15. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
were
say
just-
I was post beat off when
no,
I
no,
was
you
15?
had, no, I'm saying you had access to pornography.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
We
had
didn't
much
have-
less
I
porn
didn't- yeah,
access than
I didn't have access to pornography at this stage.
Do you have the internet?
Well, it was a shared family computer.
So am I.
yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have. There wouldn't have been much.
I got
available.
busted twice, so it's I couldn't go back.
Oh,
I never got
I
busted,
busted a
thankfully.
I
lot.
got busted on the family computer. a
I
couple
came on
times.
my wall once.
I've done that.
Oh, baby.
I've absolutely done that.
I almost got busted on my family computer, but I've told that story on the pod before.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I used to, because I had all sorts of tricks, because like we had Netscape Navigator and Internet Explorer, and my family didn't use one browser, so that
Yeah,
browser
right,
was
of
like
course.
the porn browser.
Of course.
And then Microsoft Internet Explorer saved all the files back then into a file called temporary internet files, where if you did a deep dive into your Windows directory, you could access it and summon up the pictures without logging back onto the internet.
Yeah, right.
So I beat off to like a lot of static pictures that like. Had
But that's
been
what a lot of
stored.
early internet porn was.
Yeah, but it was glorious because like you could get away with it without because it was dial up in those days, so you didn't want to keep logging onto the internet for 10-minute periods at different. So you could
Man.
just gloriously
Beating off to static images seems so arcane now.
Yeah, when I went to do the.
That's what the Misfits album Static Age is about. That's one out there for all you Danzig heads.
Is that the one with hybrid moments on it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
So-
that is a real beat off, like the progression of beating off. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what our podcast should be about. Has anyone done one about the history and future of beating off?
Damn.
I think I just
Damn,
cracked it
you
once.
just changed the game.
Yeah, because it would be
Chapter 7, lubricant.
well, it'd be interesting to learn like what like
We could review sex toys.
Not just that, but
podcast
but
almost
that-
certainly exists.
but that podcast would exist. But like, I want to know like what a person in the 14th century beat off to.
I've been trying to reconcile buying a fleshlight in my head for years. This is the perfect way.
There probably are like journal documentations.
Because
of
like
this.
I'm sure like you could do like the good old imagination wank. Like I'm sure that's existed for centuries. But do you think like someone used to-
Millennia, James. Millennia.
Just imagining
Yeah, yeah,
someone like standing in this like castle
first beat-off
bathroom in a
would have
pair
been-
of pantaloons, like
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
what I'm
pulled around
saying.
there, like
There's-
just
But
I
also,
reckon
like,
the
does
first
anyone-
beat-off the first beat-off ever would have been imagination beat-off.
Yeah, it would have to be. Or,
Unless
like,
unless it's from the bushes beat-off.
but it also could have been a sex beat off.
Do you reckon the first the first emission was a nocturnal one?
No, I reckon.
No,
I reckon it
people-
was a
it's a-
fucking good bust.
I reckon it's an instinctual. Like, you don't have to be taught to do it. I reckon it's an instinctual thing.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Would it be fun, like, if someone in the 14th century like beat off to like an oil painting? That would be like hentai these days.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
would have
like-
sure happened.
But like, and because like there were nude people in like a lot of those things, but it wasn't like glamour shots with puss. It was just like
Yeah.
they were angels. and
Yeah,
stuff.
but they're all very beautiful feminine women. Do you want to hear a sinister side of this, right?
Yeah.
You ever think about how many paintings
From the
of-
guy who was just talking about unconscious women.
Well, yeah.
And underage
He's like
girls.
a real
Yeah.
sinister thing. Think about how many paintings of naked children are in Catholic stuff.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, there's like a lot of theories that like, oh,
Yeah.
that was for the priest to beat
okay.
off.
Well, this
Like-
is the last
Totally.
episode of this podcast, the history of beating off, coming next week.
What are we going to call it?
I don't know. The
history of beating
off
off.
is pretty good.
We'll just tell your mother we beat off.
Yeah, but it would be. I wonder if you could.
We'll tell your mother.
Because
We've all got to tell each other's mothers that the other two
just
beat
call-
off.
Yeah, just-
My mum's seen my comedy. She knows I
Yeah.
beat off.
Yeah, my mum's in my comedy. She knows I beat off too.
Yep, same.
I think, yeah, and I think like everyone of my family has listened to this podcast, which is essentially like us talking about. Jack.
Oh, I actively discourage my family from doing
Anyway,
I'm so glad that my mum wouldn't have
but like
a fucking
imagine
clue
like
how.
the first person who like the De Guerro type photo that's like, this is going to improve beating off.
Yeah, well, there is like a trend that apparently, like on the forefront, of, like beat off technology is always at the forefront. Like that's like how Blu-ray got invented. VR's like kind of a front runner.
And then
that kind of tech.
because you could do the podcast
There's a
as
history
the
of-
future of beating off.
Yeah.
Because you'll probably have like a sex robot or like a suck
Well,
machine.
you
or
could argue that like the human history is on a parallel, is on a parallel timeline
With
to,
beating
to the
off.
history of beating off. Like it's like the Renaissance. I'm sure the game done changed. I'm sure Da Vinci was down there
Da Vinci
making some
drawing
sort of
blueprints of a
Yeah,
beat-off
there's like
machine.
absolutely blueprints in a Da Vinci fucking basement somewhere
See,
of
that's
him
the
designing
new-
the first like steampunk fleshlight.
Yeah, that's the new that's the new Da Vinci Code.
Yeah.
Let's call Hanks, get it
Yeah.
back.
Well, the thing about like
The original fleshlight was like the glove in a melon thing or whatever.
Yeah.
do you think like Tesla like versus Edison like Tesla was arguing for like doing it with your non-dominant hand and like
Yeah, maybe.
Edison was like no we do it this way and then that's like the people on the internet now who are like
Mr.
who are
Edison,
with-
it feels like someone else is
yeah,
doing
they're
it.
like, but they're like, no, Tesla was actually right all along. We should be doing it left-handed if you're right-handed.
And then Elon Musk, after a long period of public silence, comes out and revolutionizes beating off.
Absolutely. Elon Musk. More like Elon.
Bust.
Well, I mean, that's the obvious one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say Elon. I can smell your Musk.
Yeah, that's good. That's
but yeah,
good
Elon
too.
Bust is much more obvious.
Yeah.
When he calls his cum Grimes.
Yeah.
I'm Grimesing.
Man, Grimes is sick.
What were we
I would
talking about
love
before
to-
we went down that road?
The film.
Yeah, I feel like we.
Oh, we were
Beating
talking
off to
about beating
lesbians.
off to the lesbians and that thing. And I was explaining that's why I never did, because
He-
they weren't famous.
Right.
I will say.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like the static image porn thing is so weird, and I find it so bizarre that they still have it. Like when I went to freeze my sperm, they were like,
Yeah.
just
How
like,
have you not told this story in way more detail?
I think we
didn't
have.
we?
What kind of
Yeah,
porn
yeah.
were we talking about here?
There were no magazines.
Shaved?
Did you
is how
just
call it?
pull out your iPhone? Like, surely you just pull out your iPhone.
Yeah, well, what I did was like because
Jamie is creepily nodding.
I was I was obviously curious, so I had a look
yeah.
in like the magazines, which were like I think they felt like they were custom made for it or something like that.
They probably
I don't
were.
know, but they were terrible. Like, because it was just like I've seen naked women.
It was just pictures
I've
of
had
comics
them
you
on-
hate bombing.
Yeah, if
This will get Rose.
that was what I eventually looked up. Was just that video of Rooney really eating shit.
Yeah, name him.
We've named him on the pod before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bunch
but
of times.
not so directly. I don't care.
I believe I have once referred to him as a bad comedian on this podcast.
Yeah, that
Rooney, if you're listening, Western
that was
Boys.
quite an early
Yeah,
episode.
we're
too.
still boys.
But then they had like a little TV that you could like look up stuff on, and there were like
porno.
little folders. So there were two options. Keeping in mind that this is essentially just men going in there, and the options were male, female, and male, male.
So there's
so
no
you feed
female,
off to
female.
gay
No,
porn.
so I just looked up some like lesbian porn on my phone.
Yeah, that's what I.
Because there was no way I was going to be able to get there like without stimulus, and it was such a cold
Oh yeah,
environment.
such in that scenario, of course, absolutely. I will say this about the film. You remember it for the soundtrack, right? The soundtrack's such a big part of
This
it.
is the greatest soundtrack of all time.
Even going in
People
with the
talk about the
knowledge-
Big Chill. People talk about
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction, but American Pie 2.
Going into
I
it,
agree.
I went in my head being like, "Oh yeah, that's right." The soundtrack to this goes, and then every 5 minutes it was like, "Fuck, this movie had no right to go so hard on the soundtrack. It had no
was just-
right." Like,
You
all
feel
the
it
biggest
the
pop
moment
punk hits
every
of the
time
day.
I look for you opens
oh
the movie.
man,
I
it's
was like,
sick.
oh,
With that
That's-
weird
I did the
cut
exact same thing.
as
Yeah,
well,
it's a
where it
weird
cuts out
cut.
that like
Yeah.
first line or something.
Yeah. Man, that's sick. Also,
Three
like,
Sum 41 tracks.
Man,
Yes.
it's so fucking
Newfound
sick.
Glory, hit or miss. That scratched
Left
my
Front
itch,
Tire,
baby.
Bring You Down.
Vertigo
bad.
by American Hi-Fi. Phoebe Cates,
It's by
Phoenix
I
TX.
love Phoenix TX, man.
so good. There's the famous In Too Deep scene.
Yeah.
That made me
that
laugh.
scene.
The cheersing scene.
It doesn't go. It does go on longer than I remember.
Yeah, it's weirdly long. The reason
like
that
I've
joke,
seen. Yeah, I've seen like because obviously.
That
We,
funny
we've
YouTube
seen
video.
the
Yeah.
GIF
The
version
forever
where it's
version.
like really long, but
It's also great because now I like to do it when I go out and drink.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. We're going to be doing that at my wedding all
Yeah.
night. It's a whole night of.
we never actually talk to each other. We just stand there and dance to pop
Yeah.
punk.
Also, the moment the fat lip happens in that movie is perfect.
Oh, it's so
Oh, yeah.
good.
And Steve Stifler
Just
saying people to
screaming.
lick his ass and
Yeah,
eat
yeah.
his balls and shit.
Do-do-do-do. Man, what a great track. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it really slaps.
The doctor did say his mum should have had an abortion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The glue scene's pretty funny.
Man, it's a great set
there's-
piece. It's a great
well,
set piece.
that must be the pie of this movie. Like something
Yeah, and
calamitous happens.
because also it ends the same way. It ends with him having the conversation with his dad.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
"Don't tell your mother." Like, yeah, that's the big comedy set piece.
the little nod to the first one in that
With
first
the
scene
pie.
with the pie, like your favorite.
That's funny. I will say, the one criticism I have of this film: not enough Eugene Levy.
He's
was-
still in it a fair bit.
He's in 2 scenes.
No,
No, he was in
Three
more than
scenes,
2.
Like if you include, I'm including 2 scenes right at the start as the one bit, but it's 2 scenes. I guess they're in different spots.
No, but he's there
he's
when
not
he's
in
looking
the
at.
first one very much either.
Yeah, it's
I
probably
reckon
about.
there's like
it's
4 or 5 proper scenes.
it's
with him, and
probably
there's like,
about the
there's like
same.
2 in this. Like
probably about the same because there's the glue one. There's the bit at the very start. There's him looking wistfully at the photo of Nadia. There's like them. That was
such a wet
You
fart,
almost
James.
certainly shat yourself just
Yeah,
then.
that was the wettest fucking part.
That was going to be a lot quieter than that.
You look so sheepish.
That was horrible.
That was great.
He really like leant up to get some purchase on it.
Do you
Too.
ever do the thing? I tweeted about this the other day, but do you ever do the thing? It happens to me all the time. If I have headphones in on the train and I fart,
You just.
You
I
take
can't-
one. You take one headphone out to hear if you've gone. Loud
yeah, I
or
don't know
not.
if it's.
That's what I do.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh
I
god,
know-
that is rank, dude.
Oh my god,
Don't look so satisfied, you grot.
That is satisfying now.
man.
Oh god.
I have a criticism of the movie.
But no, yeah, you fart and you're not sure if anyone heard
Not long enough.
it. Yeah. What's
No,
your criticism of the movie?
Kevin's
James?
story is dog shit.
Yeah,
Like,
Kevin's boring in this.
Like it's just like I want to fuck Tara Reid, but I don't. And her date is a weird looking dude at the
Yeah,
end of the
right,
movie
like-
with like gigantic lips.
Yeah,
and,
like
a
standard
weird
preppy guy.
voice that seems like he, might be like the dumbest person in the world. He's just like
Yeah, just some idiot
"Ugh."
preppy dude.
All my exes seem to just date the worst people after me. What does that say about me?
I mean, we're 46 minutes in. We don't have time to go.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about who my ex is dating after me.
Let's talk about who my ex is dating after me.
We after having
It's cool, guys.
after having watched it again, because we expressed the same opinion as each other when I came to pick the movie up from you yesterday, Jamie. It was that it's better than the first.
Damn.
How do you think?
Hot take.
How do you feel after watching
James,
it?
weigh in.
No, I do. I do agree with it. But again,
And thus, the greatest movie of this genre, perhaps.
Hold on, I haven't weighed in yet.
I will qualify this with like,
Mm.
I actually think American Pie 1 might be a superior film. I like 2 better because of my personal ties to it.
So I think
that might be the case with me too.
the phrase I was going to use is I think American Pie 2 is more fun and potentially a better movie, but American Pie is I think a considerably better film.
Yeah.
Like it makes more sense
I think
as a film.
I think
It's
American
the-
Pie American Pie 2 is definitely more fun.
Yeah.
There's that whole kind of like vibe of like the road trip and like setting wise. There's no, but the goals aren't as clear.
It puts you in the place of like, oh, that'd be fun.
Well, yeah, because the first movie, like the setup and goals are pretty good. Like it's just
Yeah.
four
Clear
people trying to
motive,
live-
clear
the
relationships.
The motive of the second one is like, let's get fucked and have the best summer ever. That's
Yeah.
like very flimsy, which is why a lot of 2 feels a lot more like a collection of set pieces versus 1's kind of more coherent narrative.
So I have
Damn film school.
There's a couple of set pieces in one, but yeah, this probably
Yeah,
has
I mean,
more.
like these movies, this genre is predicated on like the gross, sexy
Yeah.
set piece, but 2 feels like almost like sketchy, and that like
Yeah.
there's different.
yeah.
Yeah. So here's what I'm saying. I'll get it's related. It's connected to what you're saying. So I think if you forget that it's which one's better or worse, I will say American Pie 2 is one of the few like brilliant sequels. Like it really nails what it means to be a good sequel. So like think about like good sequels, like Empire Strikes Back is like the most obvious one. So what they do is they're like working on existing characters.
Another one
set
that we're
up.
legally not allowed to mention on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Why can't we do Empire Strikes Back?
No, I was about to say The Spy Who Shagged Me.
That is a good sequel. It's
Pretty
you're
randy, I
using-
would say.
You're using the existing characters and the existing dynamics in a new setting, but in a way that doesn't feel forced and cheesy. So like,
Well, it feels because it's the totally natural progression. They
Yeah.
all go to college in America and then go back for summer.
good example. I would say it's like similar Magic Mike XXL. Like in
Yeah.
they're both great films, completely different tones. Like Magic Mike is probably a better, more original, more exciting film. Magic Mike 2 is just fun. Like cool, we've got it now. Let's just have fun with it. This is just them having fun with the formula. Also, a common move in good sequels, and I've like looked this up for like Star Wars shit essentially. Often what's used in good
You're
sequels
cool,
is
man.
you split the team up. Like, so if the first one is about a group of people sharing a goal, what you do with the second one is so they're not just the same dynamics replayed over again, you split them up and put them in separate situations so you can jump between. So they do that in like Empire Strikes Back, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, they do the same thing. This, what they're doing is, I think, because they've already set up these things, is rather than have them all have the same goal for different reasons, which is get laid before the end of school, and they all have their own slight variance on motivation, this is they all have their own unique arc. So Finch wants to fuck Stifler's mum again. Jim is trying to get prepared for Nadia coming back. Stifler's, I guess, trying to have a threesome or whatever. Like, everyone has their own thing, so that's their way of like splitting it up and keeping. So then, rather than it being just a repeat of the first one, same like Anchorman 2 sucks for that reason. They're just repeating the first one.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever spoken this long uninterrupted on the podcast. But yeah, like I think like that's the way of splitting up. So that way you go, okay, cool. Let's just see what Oz is up to in this scene. Like instead of like,
Yeah.
Oz's
yeah, I
arc
think that's
is-
a good point. Also,
Oz's
I'm
arc
looking in
is
your
pretty-
phone and it says serious film criticism gets pussy now.
no, it's actually my background is of Jordan Peele winning an Oscar.
Oz and Kevin, it's clear that they don't really know what to do.
Yeah,
with
Oz's
this
arc was pretty boring as well.
Although I
Oz's
thought
arc was
Oz,
very
I thought
boring.
the
What
man
I
Oz was,
liked-
like,
His whole
pretty-
arc was phone.
I don't know
he
if
was
it was
pretty
like
good looking though.
I don't know if it was like some foreshadowing for like the reunion, but there are definitely more shades in this one than the first one of like creating like portraying Stifler as like a bit of a sad character.
Oh yeah, well that's
Yeah.
what else do you do? with
I
that
think
character?
I think they just needed to move to that. You guys have all seen all 4 American Pie main ones.
Yeah,
And
but
all
I've
the
only
bloody DVD,
Yeah,
straight to
yeah.
I've
DVD.
only seen 3 and 4 like once each,
that's-
and I was very
I don't
drunk.
think
so.
that-
I don't remember
yeah,
what happens.
I
in
think
those.
I've only seen 3
Yeah,
once.
I couldn't tell you what happens except that in one there's a wedding and in one there's reunion.
Yeah.
Reunion I've seen a few times.
Yeah, Alison Hannigan looking pretty.
Well, I
looking
also
pretty
thought
dopiness.
that the
Trumpet
Jim,
in the butt and then
Yeah.
making sound. Classic
the
comedy. That's very
Jim
funny.
and Michelle stuff was quite sweet.
It's really
I
sweet.
thought.
Jim pretending to be a disabled person who can't play the trombone.
Yeah.
Funny stuff.
Oh well, Jim getting called a retard and then saying the
Yeah.
word retard and assaulting a child, and then he gets 3 doors down to play while
Hell
he
yeah.
kisses
Back and be
Michelle.
like that.
That's a pretty good, narrative bow.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason Biggs, I think, may be perfectly cast in this. I think he's
Oh,
the
totally.
only guy I could imagine ever
Makes
playing Jim.
sense that it's kind of the role that defined his career.
Yeah.
I find it very
He's good
funny.
in Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, but he's
so
insufferable
hateable.
in it.
He's so hateable. He's
Speaking of
perfect.
Orange is the New Black, it's very bizarre
There's more
to
lesbian
see
shit.
Natasha Lyonne in this.
Oh yeah,
Especially after watching like Russian Doll. I was like, oh, that was amazing. Like, what the fuck are you doing in this movie?
That's just young,
Yeah.
vulnerable.
Well, this is pre.
And clearly, like, putting on an accent.
yeah,
Because
This
her
is-
actual accent is so much more like Jersey.
yeah.
This is also pre Natasha Lyonne's like fucking meth breakdown.
She had a meth breakdown?
Well, like she did a lot of drugs, got in a lot of trouble.
Shit.
Nothing wrong with that.
This is this would have been like pre Orange is the New Black. Like she was out in the wilderness for a while. Like Orange.
Yeah, well, she disappeared basically after these movies.
yeah, because of drugs.
She wouldn't have
maybe.
been in the
She's
wedding
not in
one.
the third one. Neither is Oz. Oz isn't in the wedding.
Yeah, there's a few people who aren't in the wedding.
It's mostly.
I think they all come back for the reunion one, right?
they're all in the reunion. Yes. I think. Yeah.
It wouldn't be a reunion without Oz.
It will be interesting to. It will be interesting to
The
watch.
least significant
Oz is a
character.
pretty central character in the reunion one.
Yeah. Oz gets the most satisfying dramatic arc.
Well, I guess we'll find out in episode 150 when we
Yeah.
do.
Well, I guess like with American Pie, like it would be interesting to get to the end of the four and see how you rank them, because at the moment I'd probably do 2, 1, 3, 4.
I would probably think 2, 1, 4, 3.
I don't remember 3 or 4 enough. I'm holding. I'm
I don't, but
reserving
that's only
judgment.
because I've seen 3 once.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I
But
remember,
also ahead of all of them, Beta House.
I remember seeing 3, thinking that I would not like it, but ended up enjoying it quite a lot. But I haven't seen it since probably 2000. When did it come out? 2005, 6 maybe.
I think.
I reckon
No,
before
way
that.
earlier, actually.
Yeah, before
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Because this one's like, what, 2001 or
This,
something?
yeah, well, it would have been when the Hell song was big, so probably 2003.
Guys, I think
What,
we've done some
was
good
2003.
in-depth analysis of the film. I think we're
Are
coming
we going
to a
through the
natural end.
playbook?
No, I think we're done.
Oh, we're done?
Yeah, like as in, let's start plugging shit. Get any final riffs for us, boys?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's just getting my guitar to play the riff from In
Yeah,
Too
yeah.
Deep.
Man, that is a good. I think the guitar line from fucking Fat Lip is just so catchy.
Oh yeah.
Like as soon as that plays anywhere, you know that a jam's about to break.
Oh man, so fucking Blink-182 doing 20th.
Oh yeah, we didn't
20th
talk about
anniversary of
20th
Enema of the
anniversary
State.
of Enema of the State.
Do you
They're
think,
gonna play it in full,
man? Do you think they still
and
remember
it's gonna
how
be
to
so unsatisfying hearing fucking what's his face
Skiba.
Skiba, yeah.
Skiba singing Anthem.
Skiba's gotten a lot better at doing his own take on Tom's voice.
Do you think they
But
still
that's
remember?
such a like reach, you know.
I was gonna say, do you think they still remember how to play all the small things? How are they pulling that one out of the back catalogue? Do you think they still know how it goes?
Man, if I saw them
I'd be
now,
more worried about them like doing like. Oh no, because they did Dysentery Gary pretty recently. I
Yeah.
saw a thing of that.
when I saw them, that
They've
was
done most of Enema at some stage with Skiba.
yeah. When
I don't think I've ever heard them play Anthem live.
No,
they wouldn't have played the party song live.
I've heard them do the party song live.
Really?
Yeah.
When I saw them, the encore.
I've heard them do that as well, now that I think about it.
My show got 2 encores, and the second one, it was Dysentery Gary, Dick Lips, and Wendy Clear.
Ooh.
And Dysentery Gary fucking went off live.
Yeah, pretty sick song.
Yeah, Dysentery Gary rules. I think it might be the best non-single cut on the album, or like the most.
I love Wendy Clear as well.
Yeah. But I mean, like, also, like, the thing with sorry, not just non-single cut, because Dysentery Gary, Anthem, and the Party Song are the only ones that don't make it onto Mark, Tom, and Travis.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, like, Dysentery Gary, Anthem, and Party Song fall by the wayside. I think Party Song's not that great.
It's like a gimmicky song.
Yeah.
It's just one of those dumb joke fun
yeah.
songs they
Anthem
used to do.
fucking rules.
and deeply
but, like,
misogynistic.
Oh, yeah.
but, like, Dysentery Gary fucking slaps. Like, that guitar riff rules.
I was in the car with my mum when I was like 13, and I had Enema of the State in the CD player, and the party song came on. And I was like, "Oh, mum, I love this song." And she listened to it, and she was like, and she's like an old school like.
and she was like, "This
feminist,
is
like,
how I got pregnant."
Yeah,
Andrew."
she's like used to do.
I
like,
dated this
women's
guy who
marches
now
and
rides
shit
for
like
Black
that.
Flies.
And yeah, she was just like, "This is deeply problematic." But yeah, it was good shit.
Yeah. All right, plug away.
I'm doing Melbourne International Comedy Festival. It may even be happening right now because I don't know when this episode will be coming out. From the 17th to the 19th, or roughly around those days.
It'll
I
be
may have
before
gotten
that.
wrong. It's the 7th to 19th or 18th. 7th to 18th of April at the Bar Ampere in Melbourne at 9:30 p.m. for Melbourne International Comedy Festival. Go to comedyfestival.com.au for tickets. Also, Sydney Comedy Festival Factory Theatre, 9:30, 1st and 3rd of May. I can't remember the website for that one. Vulgar Display of Comedy is the name of the show in both cities. It's very good. I do all my good bits. Come down. I'm not doing Butt Baby, but if you tell me beforehand that you're a fan of the pod and you specifically want to see Butt Baby, I'll consider it.
We had a pod fan come to a Powerbomb on Friday.
Yeah.
Well,
She-
she's got to pay me directly for me to do the bit.
She heard me talking to Caution and like recognized me from my voice.
That's sick.
That was fun.
Anyway,
Thanks for
Shout outs,
coming.
Harley.
any...
Yeah, we think that's who it was. Thanks
It
for-
is Harley. She confirmed with me.
Oh, right,
She
yeah.
was like, I emailed.
I think
Thanks,
it's they
thanks for
then.
coming to the show.
Yeah, guys. If you,
Oh yeah, it is they then.
I will take requests for Butt Baby if pod fans so demand it.
What about the Crow?
No,
You wouldn't do the Crow?
not doing the Crow.
Would you remember how to do the crow?
I could look it up.
What if someone paid you $1,000 to do the Crow?
I will absolutely do the Crow.
What if someone paid
Fuck,
you...
I would do my first 5 minutes
What
if someone paid me
you $50
$1,000.
to do the Crow?
Where in the pay cycle am I at?
What do you mean?
What is it?
Is
Have I
it-
just
have
gotten
you just
paid,
been
or
paid,
am I-
or is it the end?
Anytime.
$50 not enough?
75,
No,
100,
no.
250,
Yep.
150,
Yeah.
120,
No.
130,
No.
140.
Yeah.
420.
So 135 is probably your minimum.
No, 140.
Okay. Well, now I know.
Just
your
round up to 150 at
Now I
that
know
point.
your-
No, I'm trying to be honest with myself. I would do it for 140.
Now I
Right.
know your
Because in my
price.
head I said 150, and then I was like, okay, 140, I would. And then 135, I was like, no, that's a slap in the
Can
face.
you imagine how bad you'd feel shelling out $140 to listen to Hastings do the Crow?
Yeah.
Listener, I've named my price.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, better, for $50, I'll just send you the YouTube link.
Yeah.
It's
Or
on
you could
private.
find it
It's
yourself.
on private.
Oh, okay.
I would-
Come to Powerbomb Comedy every week.
That's a
It's-
serious stuff. $50, I will send you the
It's
link
been
of me doing the
selling
Crow.
out a lot, so obey my memes and pre-book. You
Our
scum.
memes. I make some too.
Right. Okay.
Yes, and pre-book for comedy at Papagetti's the
Probably don't need
Tuesday
to.
of every month. No, just
Always
so
tickets available.
I don't stress.
Yeah.
Because we get so many door sales, and I just get stressed.
Come to Everly Comedy because no one comes, and it would be nice to see some friendly.
Man,
faces.
honestly-
And you'll likely see all three of us hanging out there.
Yeah,
yeah,
honestly,
drunk as shit.
if you do want to, Everly Comedy's not a bad choice if you want to see us fucking around. It's a good one to watch a good
It's
fuck
Yeah, if
around.
you, which is what this is. So.
if you want to see us drunk and riff.
Yeah, you want to see us do good shit, see the other stuff. You want to see us fuck around and do bad shit, come to Everly.
Yeah.
But also, please come pay to see
But
us do
also,
good
like,
shit.
the fuck around bad shit is actually good shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, to the next step.
To the next ep.
Hold on, I've just got to check my phone. Say, wait, there's nothing on my phone.
Wait a minute.